What is up, guys? Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we've got some brand spankin' new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, unveiling official information. And so, let's get started. Now, there is something absolutely huge that was revealed today, something all Destiny fans should be aware of, and that is a change to the release date of the, well, previously fall expansion, but now you could frankly call the winter expansion. That's right, Destiny 2 Beyond Light has been delayed from its first announced release date of September 22nd, 2020 to the new release date of November 10th, 2020. So that is over a month it has been delayed. And of course, that changes quite a few things. So firstly, just hearing this announcement, honestly, I know it's probably disappointing for a lot of people. It's disappointing to me too. I was looking forward to playing the crap out of this in September, but of course, I would much rather have a finished and polished product than a rushed expansion, right? I don't want Bungie to release something that shouldn't be released, that needs more time. And of course, I think most people out there, most gamers out there, considering we have played games and expansions that maybe shouldn't have come out when they did and instead should have got delayed, and obviously we would rather that get delayed. So I think that's all good news that they're willing to delay this to get it right. But at the same time, it raises some questions. Firstly, this was only revealed like the day Season of Arrivals launched, which was about a month ago. So in only the span of the month, they were willing to commit to a September 22nd release date, and then they were like, oh no, we need like a month or more time. So like, what happened within this past month that Bungie realized they would need to delay this expansion? That's a really interesting question. Additionally, as I kind of jokingly said earlier, this was supposed to be the fall expansion and now it's the winter expansion, but honestly, what is going to happen with that? Because we normally do have a winter season. We had Season of the Forge, and then we had Season of Dawn launching in December. Now, if this launches in November, is that still the plan? Are we only going to have a month with the new expansion, or potentially even less than a month before the winter season starts? Or is that going to be delayed until a much later date? Is that going to like change the outlook of what we usually expect for the entire year in terms of seasons? It very well could, and that is something that Bungie didn't release today, but I think they should address in due time. In any event, another thing that's going to change, obviously, is what Season of Arrivals looks like, because this season is now lasting quite a bit longer. Well, here is the updated seasonal calendar. So as you can see, Moments of Triumph is now extending all the way to November 10th. So you have a considerable amount more time to get your Moments of Triumph done, which for some people is going to be great news. Now, another big change is that the Festival of the Lost event, which is free to play for everybody, takes place in October, which is now part of Season of Arrivals. So that's going to happen technically this season. And it says new masks, new triumphs, and mummified rewards. So at least that's something to look forward to when you're waiting for Beyond Light, and hopefully Bungie kind of spices this event up with a couple of extra rewards just to tide us over. But speaking of tiding us over, some more stuff that's going to be happening throughout the season include events where there's increased valor, increased infamy. They say increased redacted, so I don't know what they're talking about there necessarily. They say a few additional Iron Banner events between September and November, and some more stuff. But obviously, even with that stuff, the likely outcome is that by the end of Season of Arrivals, we are pretty bored and we're pretty lacking content. The good news is that when Beyond Light comes out on now November 10th, it should be more banging than ever, right? And so that, of course, is the biggest piece of news today, but it's not the only piece of news today. Something else to talk about involves Grandmaster difficulty Nightfalls. So, these are one of the hardest endgame challenges within Destiny 2. They were introduced only last season, and if you did all of the Grandmaster Nightfalls available within a season, you would unlock the Conqueror title. But this season, although it follows that same flow, if you do all of this season's Grandmaster Nightfalls, you can earn that Conqueror title if you missed out last season. But thankfully, one of the problems was the rewards. Like, for all of the time and effort you put in, the rewards were not that amazing. However, they're actually going to update Grandmaster Nightfalls to adjust the rewards to make it worth it. So here's a little breakdown. So, increased masterwork material drops for Grandmaster Nightfall difficulty. Grandmaster completion at Platinum, Gold, and Silver levels now have a higher chance of dropping an exotic armor item. Grandmaster completion at Platinum level now guarantees 1 Ascendant Shard with a small chance at 1 additional, and 4 Enhancement Prisms with a moderate chance at 1 to 2 additional. So Grandmaster completion at Gold now guarantees 2 Enhancement Prisms with a moderate chance at 2 additional. And at Silver, it's now a small chance at 2 Enhancement Prisms. So that's pretty interesting. The philosophy last time when they introduced Grandmasters was that, hey, just a completion, just completing it, it doesn't matter at Platinum, Gold, Silver, whatever, is the challenge. And the completion matters when you're going after that triumph. But now they're kind of breaking it down and saying, no, the actual ranking, your score ranking does matter. How many champions you killed does matter, and that's going to directly influence your rewards. So that's kind of an interesting change, and certainly Platinum does sound pretty rewarding in terms of the materials and the loot you're getting. And all of this stuff launches this upcoming reset on July 21st. That's when Grandmasters go live. And moving on from there, the last thing we're going to talk about is, of course, raids are now extremely farmable. Well, the last 5 raids from Scourge of the Past down to Crown of Sorrows, Leviathan, Eater, Spire, those are all extremely farmable. They will drop loot even if you keep completing it on the same character again and again and again. So, turns out going to Leviathan and then just doing the first encounter over and over again, especially when it's, prestige mode dogs, or the royal pools, isn't that bad either, and that's actually a great way to farm armor, because the armor dropping from the raids is extremely high stat values, right? But with the Contender exotic ghost shell that applies to the Leviathan, the Seeker of Brilliance perk lets you get way more bright engrams than usual, which got you a crap ton of materials, and because of that, Bungie actually disabled that. So, just keep that in mind if you're using that exotic Contender ghost shell in the Leviathan or anywhere it's relevant. Leviathan, I think it also applies to Eater and Spire. The Seeker of Brilliance perk on it is currently disabled in game. You can still use the exotic ghost shell and the other perk seemingly works, but the Seeker of Brilliance perk doesn't. Guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at @RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.